Hey everybody, radicalmoderate back once again to make another response video to V, responding to him, reading my super chats, and building a nice straw man for me. Really disappointed with V here. I thought he was more intellectually honest than this. Let's watch and react.
Assaulting one of his colleagues, I would consider that to be bad. Biting a teacher, worst. Supporting the bootleg YouTube rules.
Okay, so
I made a video calling you out for supporting demonetizing Sniper Wolf for legal speech. You don't care about free speech. You bootleg YouTube rules.
Yes, you do.
First of all, I bootleg the concept of everyone should be under the same rules.
The rules are unfair. So you just want all the unfair rules applied equally. That's like if a bunch of crabs are in a pot or in a bucket and one of the crabs is starting to crawl out and you pull them down. That's what you are. The crab preventing the other ones from escaping from the bucket.
Like even more than any other principle, more than anything else I believe, like the golden principle that I have is that the rules should apply to everyone.
Especially if the rules are unfair and unjust. That's your golden principle. Unfair rules should be applied equally.
Now we can actually discuss what the rules are. But like first and foremost, like that is on the top. There is nothing above this. Like this is my constitution.
That's your constitution. Okay. Everyone should be treated equally, even if the rules are tyrannical.
Right? If you think that every single person should get 5 kicks in the ass, then I do expect, even though I disagree with that, but I do expect vehemently that every single person should get, because that's what the rules are. Even the person who makes the rules. Secondly, you know, because if you lived in a world, and I think I actually said this, I don't make the rules, I play the meta. If it's...
You don't make the rules, you play the meta. But if someone else breaks the rules, you will not keep... You won't turn a blind eye. You won't be like, oh, glad someone got away with these unfair rules. No, you'll call them out. Oh, that's not fair. These tyrannical rules happen to me, but they skip the unfair rules? Yeah.
It's the 90s internet, and Sniper Wolf doxes someone, then other people would dox Sniper Wolf. But I guarantee to you, if someone else were to do that, YouTube would immediately step up. In fact, they did.
I don't care. YouTube's not my moral arbiter. What YouTube's actions are shouldn't control or dictate what you or feel or think, man. YouTube is an entity. It's a soulless corporation. Who cares what their actions are? Stand for something.
They did on Twitter, which is why they got upset. My problem wasn't that Sniper Wolf was demonetized, and in fact...
Yeah, I get it. You wanted her to go through the program. My point was that any punishment at all, being demonetized or getting a warning for legal speech, is still unfair.
You mischaracterized my statement.
I mischaracterized.
So you need to make another video now about this. Make sure that you're very outraged.
Make sure... He's kind of being really smug right here, too. V, why are you being so smug? You're about to lecture us on American law when you're not an American and you didn't study American law. And I've watched... many American lawyers talk about free speech and how this is legal free speech, but you're going to act like it's not and that you know more about the law than I do. Really smug.
I said that Sniper Wolf shouldn't have been demonetized. She should have got what everyone else gets on the platform.
She should have got what everyone else got.
A community
okay, don't care.
Strike, and if it's the first, you get a warning on your channel, right? You don't get demonetized, you just get a warning. Since you've not done any other violations, it goes away in 90 days if you do the training, right? That's what would have happened to me if I would have done it to you. Also, take into account that in the place where she is at...
Oh, okay. So this is where V loses me again. Because he forgets in America we have something called innocent until proven guilty. What does that mean to you, V? Innocent until proven guilty. You're gonna say, oh, she broke California law. According to who? You? The internet? The hoi polloi? The masses? May I remind you that the masses are retarded.
Doxing is illegal. Like, it's against the law. The Supreme Court of the United States has certain exceptions to free speech.
No shit, Sherlock. We know that. Everybody knows that. But the problem is, people on the left, and many people, and even seeing you a little bit here, are trying to expand the restrictions on free speech. You're gonna say threats to violence are legal speech. I've never said threats of violence are legal speech. Intimidation is not legal speech. I'm not making that argument. I never said all speech is legal, but doxing is legal speech.
Blackmail is not free speech.
Too bad we're not talking about blackmail.
Threats are not free speech.
Too bad we're not talking about threats.
Obscenities are not free speech.
Yes, they are, actually. Obscenities are free speech. Sorry. There's no hate speech laws in the United States, V. You should study more on the Constitution before you lecture us on it.
This is what the Supreme Court of the United States of America has decreed.
Which case is that? They just don't decree things, you fucking idiot. What? The Supreme Court doesn't rule by decree? What is wrong with you? Damn, man, I'm losing more and more respect for you by the second. The president can rule by decree. The president can issue decree. The Supreme Court makes rulings on cases that set precedent. They are an appeals court. So when a case of, is saying I'm going to go to your house and beat you up actual free speech or is it a threat of violence, they'll make that ruling on that individual case. It's not a decree. They didn't come out of nowhere. Like, a question was brought to them. But, I know nothing about the Supreme Court. Let's let the Romanian lecture us on free speech laws in the United States. I'm sure he's got really good insights on them because he's been...
So, reread the Constitution.
I should reread the Constitution.
And the amendments, as well as how the Supreme Court interprets it.
So smug. I just reread the entire Constitution and how the Supreme Court... He's not going to cite any case law.
I do believe that, like doxing someone with the purpose of...
I do believe. Very strong statement.
Causing intimidation.
I do believe doxing with the purpose of causing intimidation...
Does not fall under free speech.
Does not fall under free speech. Okay. Well, now you're going to have to prove that she doxed someone with the purpose of intimidating them. But that hasn't been proven yet in a court of law. This is all assumptions. This is almost borderline defamation. Sorry, V.
Like, that is not a political opinion that needs to be protected. That is not like her opinion on something. That is not her trying to express herself.
Just because you can't imagine why someone would do something doesn't mean there's not a good reason for her to do it. I'm sorry. It's you lacking creativity here. There might be a completely innocuous, innocent reason for her to do that. It doesn't have to be malicious. Just because you can't imagine a malicious one. That's more of a lack of your creativity.
Doxing someone falls under intimidation.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Sorry, it doesn't.
It's the same thing as threats.
Threats are threats. Doxing is not a threat.
It's not free speech.
Free speech.
V turns into Dev when Arch is not around.
I'll skip ahead a little bit because I sent them another super chat.
Would you consider that free speech? If it's not the same, the question is it that make a billboard with your credit? Okay. If I were to have doxing someone falls under intimidation. It's the same thing as threats. It's not free speech.
Free speech.
V turns into Dev when Arch is not around. Do you guys think like doxing is free speech? So okay. If I were to have your credit card number...
Not the same case, V. That's different. That is different, V. But also, technically your credit card number, if someone posted it out there, that isn't exactly a bad thing. Someone has to then use it to commit fraud. See, there's another action there. Some other third-party agent that no one else is connected to has to have malicious intent to do something with that credit card information. So technically, you could say, if I put your credit card information up there, now I wouldn't do that. I would say, don't put your enemy's credit card number out there.
And I put it online, or not even online. I make a billboard with your credit card number and I post it there, and your social security and everything like that. Should that be a crime or not? Oh, but it's not. I don't.
The social security number is that's more of a gray issue there, because you're supposed to keep that private. But there's lots of instances where you share the social security number with agencies and businesses, and therefore, by definition, if you share something, it's no longer private, especially if it's with a business. So obviously, sharing your private information has risks to, credit card fraud. No one's arguing that, V. It's a very, very crappy straw man. You have to go from like the obvious case of, we're talking about taking a picture of someone's house with no identifying information on it, but we have to go to credit card information and social security numbers to make your example. You're changing all the facts completely here.
Fucking care if it's not the same. The question is it free speech or not? Like if I take your private information.
Your house is not private information. Where you live is not private information, because anybody can watch you walk into your house. It's not private.
And I post it to the public. Like, I don't use it myself, right? I guess like if I were to use it myself, it would be identity theft. My question is, if I take your private information and I put it out there, would you consider that free speech? Because I don't think it's free speech. Especially if you do it out of malice.
Especially if, so that's the thing though. Out of malice requires mind reading. I didn't realize V could mind read. Sniper Wolf. Oh, he's got the power of omniscience. We're dealing with a god over here who can mind read. He knows her inner intention with 100% certainty.
Especially if you do it to threaten someone or to blackmail someone or anything of the sort.
So doxing is only illegal when you attach other illegal threats and blackmail to it. Thank you, V, for proving why doxing is illegal.
This is not even internet. Like what she did was criminal in the state that she was in.
In your opinion, it was criminal. It hasn't been found in a court of law. So technically, it's legal. It's legal what she did. Now, in your opinion, you think she broke the law, but a judge and prosecutor and jury hasn't found that yet. So really, you're defaming her.
The wording is very important, right? It's like, it's not... I never said that she should be demonetized. And by the way, she herself said that she should be demonetized.
I don't care what she herself says.
Like, that's the hilarious part. But it is what it is, like you can defend Sniper Wolf if you want. I mean, we're just going to agree or to disagree. I do think that the main problem with YouTube is not necessarily the rules.
The main problem for YouTube is not the rules. Rules on YouTube are perfectly fine. He likes the way the rules are. No, okay, that's not fair. I'm not being fair to V. He doesn't like how they're unfairly applied. He just wants all the unfair rules applied equally.
Many of them I don't agree with. But I do think that the main problem is that there's two-tier system. Like, some people can break the rules and other people can't. And my point was to show to individuals that, look, individuals like Sniper Wolf can get away with vehicle manslaughter while you're going to get stopped over for a broken taillight.
Yeah, if your point is, oh, there's two-tier system of rule on YouTube, that's, again, a shit take in my opinion. The correct opinion is YouTube's rules are unfair. No one should be getting punished for it. It should be a free speech platform. I'm sorry, you don't like free speech that much, and you're trying to play with inside the meta, maybe you'll grow a free speech backbone someday and come back to the right side of history. Free speech is the only thing protecting us from tyrants, V. Free speech is the most important thing. Come on, give it the game.